Doubleheader of baseball today.
Yeah.
You'll get the second game joined in progress right here on ESPN Chicago later tonight. That's Dodgers and Mets from Citi Field in Queens. That'll be after Bears Weekly, 6:30 to 7 with Joniak and Thayer, and that will follow Waddle and Sylvia, of course. Meller and Waddle will be down in 1 hour for Crosstalk. Let us now do the lunch rush. Brought to you by Fry the Coop. 9 Chicagoland locations and counting.
Let's do it.
Get there today for lunch, for dinner. The chicken sandwich is the best. Kevin Zepak and Charlie Bevins are with us. Kevbo.
No, I'm rushing with you guys.
Oh, Chardon?
Oh, yes.
Let's get
Kevin's
it done,
shaking
Char.
his head. What's what over there?
No, it's I have nothing. So Charlie will be doing the lunch.
Wow.
Kevin's running from the grind.
Should be on your billboard, Kevin. I have nothing.
That is business card. Chardon.
That's
All right.
Carm, you figure out CHSN yet?
No, never, as Jurko would say. One of these days, I'm talking to my guy from App coming up here after the show. He's going to let me know what's what. I'll get, home opener tonight for the Hawks. I don't know that I'll be watching it.
Not going to be watching it.
Tonight there's a Thursday night game and a playoff baseball game, so it wouldn't make one of my two TVs anyway.
Is today red carpet walk?
I don't know if they still
Is
do
today
that. I
they
think
put
so.
the red carpet out for the big season opener?
I believe so.
It's a big to-do. I mean, that may have been something that the old...
it is a big to-do.
The old regime did.
A big debacle.
Maybe they don't go with that with the new regime.
I think they do it. I think you're probably right. It wouldn't have made a TV tonight anyway, again, with a playoff baseball game and a Thursday night game.
Right.
I wouldn't have had the Hawks on, but I do want to watch them more.
You want to see the highlights, too.
I'll watch the highlights in the morning. I will.
But the reason I ask is because the Portland Trailblazers are also starting their own TV network.
I saw this.
Yeah. So they're giving away 5,000 free antennas if you sign up.
Which is what Sylvie said a week ago.
I don't know why.
Sylvie said,
It's the Trailblazers.
Why don't the Bulls and Hawks do this? Sylvie said it. Was somebody from Portland listening?
I don't know, but the Blazers are not very well run right now since Paul Allen died, and even they were able to figure this out. So if you want,
Can you imagine?
You can get Rip City Network.
Can you imagine Brooks Boyer or someone going to Jerry Reinsdorf saying, Jerry, let's buy 5,000 antennas? Can you imagine? He'd throw them out of the office.
Oh, yeah. Out of the office. Not the way we do things.
Let's take a page out of the Blazers notebook. I feel like that alone, Jerry's probably not listening anymore.
He'd go back in the office and he'd get one of his guys and say, guys, like from Scrooged.
Yes, right.
You remember from Scrooge,
Yes.
Bill Murray?
Bill Murray.
When he fired the guy on Christmas Day.
Of course, on Christmas Eve, I believe.
Yeah, now who was it? It was Bobcat
Goldthwait.
is who he ended up firing because he made a suggestion.
Correct.
And then he ends up getting rid of him. That's what Jerry would do. The guy that said we should give away 5,000 antennas, clean his office out, and throw him out on the street.
Throw him out. Use his head to open the door.
Yeah.
That's what he would tell security. 5,000 free antennas. Sylvie had this idea a week ago.
To give away the antennas.
He's in Vegas. I wonder if he's
the number one show in the Portland metro area in the 50 Tree.
I guess so. I'm going to text him. He's in Vegas having fun. I don't know if he knows about this.
That Portland's giving away the tea. Can we text him later and go on with the lunch rush?
We can do it. I said, are you stealing the Trailblazers or stealing your idea?
What's next on the
voice
rush?
text? Is Russell Wilson really going to start for Pittsburgh?
It sounds like it.
Is this what we're doing?
I think
it sounds like it.
I think
Matter of
might.
fact, I had to make a decision today, and I had to pick up a guy. So I dumped Justin Fields, and I had to pick up Matt Stafford. I'm hoping at some point Cooper Kupp gets to play.
I asked you on Tuesday. He's getting close, I think. I asked you on Tuesday. Any chance they're looking at the draft pick compensation? And you're like, nope, Mike Tomlin wouldn't do that to his team. And I agree with you, I think, in principle. But are we sure it's not factoring in at all? I mean, what's the rush to get Russell Wilson back on the field?
I missed opportunities. And I guess Justin Fields is handling this thing great. Justin Fields said, if I had done more on the field, and I'm telling you, like you watch Rome Odunze running wide open, they'd look at their films and they've counted their missed opportunities.
You're right.
And they may not be playing as efficiently as they might be playing.
He's still just pedestrian as a quarterback. I'm sorry. He just is.
You don't have to apologize for it.
It's just the facts, people.
Yeah.
I mean,
if they can play a little bit more efficiently on the offensive end of it, they might have easier games than everything just being an absolute heart attack every game.
Yeah. I just can't imagine George Pickens is psyched to have Russell Wilson throwing.
I don't think anybody's psyched to have anything to do with Russell Wilson
How many
anymore.
people do you think were psyched to have Justin Fields throw?
Yeah, he's not psyched to have Justin Fields either. That's true.
I let's be honest with each other. How many patterns can you run where you're running open, you should be getting the football, and when it doesn't come in the timely manner or the manner it's supposed to be there in, wouldn't you be frustrated? You would be frustrated.
What did his eye tape say? Didn't he write open effing always on his eye tape?
I think all wide receivers. Like
Ryan Williams wrote "kill everybody" on his.
All right, it's maybe a little harsh. He's a young kid. He doesn't know any better.
He's only 17. I feel like they should talk about that
He's
more.
just a kid. Give him a chance.
Did you know that? Did you know he's only 17? I feel like they don't mention that very much.
Oh, stop it. Are you being serious? No, stop it. Smart ass.
It
is amazing.
Speaking of college football, I was looking at it 2 weeks ago because last week was supposed to be the all-time slate. I'm thinking this one might be a little bit better. It's something maybe to ask Todd about, but
I don't know, man.
You do have Georgia. You have Georgia and Texas. You have the Tennessee Alabama game. Even like LSU Arkansas is a good one.
That's a very good one. I think you got a live dog in Arkansas.
Arkansas live dog.
By the way, it's an early edition of Odds Couple. It's up and ready for you now, so you can check it out in one of the games we talked about. Yeah, and it's 2.5. Shea likes it too. Taylor Green is going to be back, it looks like. He's not on the injury report today for Arkansas. I think Arkansas might be a little bit of a live dog. But LSU's been good, I have to admit. The LSU under was a real popular, sharp, better angle all summer long. A lot of sharps jumping on LSU's under. But they've ripped off 5 in a row since dropping the opener, I think, right?
I like Nussmeier.
Nussmeier's been good. He leads the country, I think, in touchdown passes. So they throw it a lot. He's been good. Yeah, it's a good slate again. It is. I mean, last week was awesome. The Ohio State-Oregon game was incredible. Think about like Penn State's comeback. Even Purdue coming back against Illinois. There were so many great, wild finishes. It was pretty special last weekend. It'd be tough to top. But that Texas-Georgia game should be great on Saturday night.
The spoiler makers getting Oregon at home on Friday in a letdown spot.
Yeah, Oregon plays tomorrow night. That's right.
I don't know.
Careful.
Spoiler makers.
Careful.
One other thing from this upcoming weekend, Saquon Barkley makes his return to the Giants.
He does.
He said he doesn't think they'll boo. Do you think they boo him?
I do not think that Giants fans are going to boo Saquon. What is booing Saquon accomplish? Saquon wanted to stay. They didn't want Saquon anymore, right?
Right, yes. Yes.
I don't see them
The
booing.
Giants moved
Football
on from
fans don't always
Saquon.
think like super logically is the only part.
No, I think what you do as a former player that was that great, you give him the applause early. You give him the applause. And then after that, and he does something against you, then that's when you boo him.
Yeah, that could be.
I think
that
there's
could
an
be.
initial applause, kind of recognizing how great he was for the New York Giants. And then after that, if he catches a touchdown against him, they'll boo him.
I think
They'll
Jurko
boo.
nailed that. That's exactly what I think is
I've
going to happen.
seen it happen.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they just came out and booed
Yeah,
him.
I've experienced. They loved it when I came down to Jacksonville.
Of course they did.
Then they hated me the second the game started.
Of course. What else, Charlie?
Have you gone to a game where it's like a former player of your team who's coming back
Yes.
who left in free agency, and
Yes.
did you boo?
Burley. I watched Burley pitch.
Did you boo Burley?
Of course not. He's my. What did I tell you before? He's like
Yeah.
my favorite
I mean,
player
are
of
you
all time.
listening over there?
I booed Aldridge when he came back to Portland after leaving for the Spurs. The only
did?
reason I asked.
Was
Oh,
that
yeah.
Lionel Aldridge?
No,
That's
LaMarcus
LaMarcus.
Aldridge. The L train.
Charlie, what's the matter with you? That's like Ryan Williams writing "Kill Everybody" on his
They do
eye.
things
Is that like Ryan Williams
You're
trying to
just
kill
You're
everybody?
just a young kid, Charlie.
Hey,
You're booing poor
they do
LaMarcus.
things different in the Pacific Northwest.
That's
Things are different up
He's
there.
eating oats and
Yeah.
bran and
just a different type of
making
people.
hemp,
That's
and
all.
it's just
It's okay.
Smoking
but it's
peyote.
just different type of people.
Just he's a weirdo. No, I'm kidding, Charlie. We kid because we love. What else?
Fireman Ed.
Oh, I saw
Have
this.
you guys been seeing this? Fireman Ed is now upset that he's being phased out of
I
headline.
mean, come on, really? Who gives a crap?
I
He's
just
being
think it's.
phased out of
I
what?
think
He's
it's
complaining
so.
that he feels like he's being phased out. They don't show him on the video board enough.
This is like I find it so funny when this happens to certain fans who think they're like a part of the team. Like, relax.
It's like an official who thinks people are there to see him. You think people are going to Jets games to see Fireman Ed?
I don't know. He was great when I met him.
When you met Fireman Ed?
Oh, out there. I said hello.
First of all, the only fireman is Fireman Frank. Whatever happened to Fireman
Fireman
Frank?
Frank.
He never comes around anymore.
He lost out. You know, he did. He lost out. He never got the hand. Never made it to the altar.
Fireman Frank was he was a listener that used to come around all the time. He'd call, he'd come to remotes. Fireman Frank, this is a real guy. I'm not making this up.
No, he's real.
Fireman Frank bought the old Knight Rider car, remember?
Yes, Kit.
He owned Kit.
Yes.
Kit didn't really talk. Go figure. There was no Kit talking to him.
I was stunned.
Just on the TV show.
It just lit up every
God, I
once in a
love
while.
that show.
Like there's never a Charlie in Charlie's Angels.
Right?
Yeah.
Never a Charlie.
Never a Charlie.
Kit wasn't real. But he bought that car, and Frank would bring it around, and I haven't seen Fireman Frank in ages. What happened to him? He once stole Sylvie's pecan pie at Thanksgiving dinner, remember?
Oh, yeah.
I think after that, maybe Fireman Frank stopped coming around. Sylvie outed him for stealing his piece of pie.
Sylvie got weirded out that Fireman Frank was, I don't know, what was happening in that relationship?
Probably already said to. Well, I haven't. Sylvie talked about it on the air.
He talked
this
about it
is
on the
very
air.
inside. It's going back a ways.
Going back a long time. Wasn't he dating Sylvie's
He was
sister?
dating Melissa for a little while, Sylvie's sister. And and Sylvie got mad at Thanksgiving. He took the last piece of
Learning so much lore of ESPN Chicago.
The big problem with
Only Sylvie.
Hey.
It's like the all-time greatest feud. Fireman Frank, he's fired on Fireman Frank for stealing his piece of pie.
The biggest problem with Fireman Frank is he wouldn't put his hose away.
That's why Sylvie was mad. All right. It's just Fireman Ed made me think of good old Fireman Frank. If your Fireman Frank's still out there, if you know him, tell him his old friends Carmen and Jurko miss him. He doesn't come around no more.
What else you got for us over there?
It's a big revenge weekend. Obviously, we mentioned Saquon Barkley, Bevo, and Uga. The last time Georgia and Texas played, Bevo the Bull went after Uga the Bulldog.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But tonight, Sean Payton going back to New Orleans. Would you expect back to this boo? Yeah. Do you think there's going to be booing tonight for Sean Payton?
I don't think so.
No.
Listen, they don't have Sean Payton delivered that. Those are the Aints. He delivered that franchise
to the playoffs.
To the playoffs. And Drew, of course. But Sean was the coach for that.
They got to have a warm spot in their hearts for him.
He helped that team navigate Katrina that first year, remember? And everything else. They got to the title game that first year, and they lost 2.
They lost to the... Yes.
There was snow coming down, and Brian Urlacher was doing the safety dance.
Chicago Bears.
They lost to the Bears that first year. Remember?
I do. They lost to the Bears.
So, yeah, I think he gets a nice ovation. Anything else, Charlie?
That's the lunch rush.
It's a good lunch rush. Brought to you by Fry the Coop. We'll be right back.